Let's see if that'll go. Tilt. Pan. Truck. Pedestal. Roll to Dutch. Roll to Dutch. Zoom. Dolly. What is up, Arima? Welcome to the Real Marcoux season finale. We did a full wind today on the old Bolex. Ooh, Bolex. This is what we learned on back in college. This is what we started with, and it was hard. We like to cut up our film. Thank you, honey. I'm not talking to you guys. I'm talking to my wonderful, beautiful wife, the real mommy. Took an awesome shot of the real Lenora yesterday, and I posted that up on the story. Hopefully you guys enjoy. I like the coffee in the morning because it's kind of like a formalized thing. It's kind of like one of those staples that you get from a morning talk show. You have the Morning Joe, right? You don't want to put that next to the technology, so I'm going to just put that over here. Pardon my absence for a moment. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Real Marcoux. I got two streaming up live on the IG, and I'm simulcasting on the YouTube in case you're wanting to see some visual samples, because I'm going to be doing a little bit of some virtual crits, and we're going to have some fun this morning, okay? Because I want you guys to tune in for Season 2. Season 2 is going to be off the chain. Season 2 is going to be like the realest that you ever seen with the backwards ripped or backwards something else. I don't even know, but you got to give me some comments. You got to give me some critiques so that way I can make it even better for us all. And that way we can join with our Tappa ensemble and we can rule the virtual critique zone or rule the virtual live stream zone. Let's do it, guys. I know you got it in you, and we're all looking forward to a psyched little 5-day vacation. That's going to be coming up soon. But, I'm really looking forward to seeing what kind of critiques you guys have for me. Like, how screwed up am I? How backwards am I? How weird are the critiques when you have people like the Real Vikings show up and give you a critique. Those critiques were wonderful, by the way. Thank you very much. We do a lot of forced perspective in this program because I have elements back here. I have elements up front. So the Viking he can be bigger, he can be smaller. And again, I have the strip of paper that I'm using to kind of move him around. So I think that's a kind of a fun trick. Don't you say, Mr. Viking Dude? Yes, I do. I agree totally. Well, that's awesome. Thank you very much for your contribution. Really appreciate you, man. Anyways, hey, you know what? Happy Passover. Happy Passover to all of my Jewish friends and everybody around the world. I have to say, it is so fantastic when we get the holiday coming up, and it's just something special to think about today. We have kind of difficulties going on. I'm going to be going into the wild world and doing some supermarket shopping later on. And you know how that goes. It's tricky. It's weird now. It's a little weird, but you just be safe out there and you get it done. How did you do that, Marcoux? Do what? Get the simulcast going? Dude, you want to know? I crawled deep within the basement. I crawled deep to the Cox Communication dude's setup, which he screwed through my thing into the wall he thought it was okay. Not cool, Cox dude. Anyways, I unscrewed that haphazard job. I unscrewed a bunch of stuff, and I plugged in some, I found a coaxial cable, so I found an adapter. I actually tried taking apart a coaxial cable. Don't ever do that. Oh, that was wildin'. Anyways, got that working, and I ran a cord across my basement, up through a hole, past my, I have, some pipes that run my water, and I ran it up. Oh, about the Viking dude. Anyways, I'm going to teach you about this first. Ran it up, and I hardwired my setup to my computer. If you're doing live stream, try to hardwire. That way you kind of give yourself a little failsafe. Of course, I'm already jinxing myself because you know how this show goes. But how did I do with the Viking dude? The Viking dude, I have a strip of paper. See, so it's just a strip of paper down here. You can see my illusion, right? Oh, you got to go to the supermarket too? I'm sorry, Arima. By the way, I'm on a 20-second delay. I think that's helping my stream. If you're doing streaming, give yourself a 20-second delay in the OBS software because that's going to make it a little bit more fluid, I hope. Also, check your speed of your internet connection, your upload speed. Make sure that you can go to speed test. I think it's speedtest.com, and it'll tell you what your upload speed is. And that can help you in OBS. And if you guys need some more specific help on that, let me know. Chat with me, hit me on the IG, hit me on my email. I can help you a lot with all the problems that I'm going through. I know it's a little bit of a train wreck morning show. Train wreck morning show. That's my format. It's you're seeing this kind of weirdo filmmaker guy trying to build the plane as he flies it or build the ship as he sinks it. Guess what? We're back afloat, folks, and it looks like we have an excellent condition. So as I'm going through these issues and giving you guys virtual crits, I'm building a more robust virtual setup for our future shows and stuff like that hopefully can transcend amongst the Tappa ensemble. And I appreciate all of you. Shout out to the Garza Smash. Hit him up on his live yoga every morning at 10 o'clock. They do something different and really inspired me to do this program. So I had something available to you. And let me know if you like this program, if you want to see more, if you want to see some specials. We're looking forward to possibly doing some puppet shows or some other kind of unique tricks. Because we are in this small world, I find that our projects are best in the small scope. But that's okay because that teaches us so much about how to make films when we get the good gear. Not that these aren't good gear or whatever like that, but when you learn how to use the stuff that you have and you use your artistic mind to produce things, your vision, those concepts, those skills, that vision looking into a production set really helps you when you get the big gear because you can look past the tech and look at the big picture. How am I going to tell a story that's going to make sense to a large audience that may not have the same conditioning as we do in America? Guys, I don't like to get political. I don't like to get into that stuff. I see Facebook all the time and I see people get into these political rants or people think, oh, I know this so much, or I know the way of the future, or I know this candidate, this or something I feel passionately about though is that recently the Fed took away the Mashpee Wampanoag's rights to be established as a tribe in America. I don't know so much about the tribe thing, but I think it's more about land and reservation rights. This is really a big issue that I'm very passionate about, and I encourage you all to recognize that we are on indigenous land. Just like Tappa, we are on indigenous land. My people, the Marcoux, the first French Canadians ever to French the Canada. I'm sorry. But really, the Marcoux came in very early, way back in the 1600s, and just exploded. I don't know. I mean, I guess they were really cold, so they had a lot of kids. Here I am, a Marcoux, and I apologize for my ancestors for being part of the problem of taking over and this colonialism is something of our past that is quite tragic, but I think that we can make amends by acknowledging those that came before us and those that helped us survive. Because we're survivors! Here we are, we're surviving, bro. Sis. How we doing? I'm going to go a little segue with the coffee, my talking morning show. I'm sorry, Reem, if you have to go down to the supermarket. Ugh, it's kind of like a compound these days. It's real weird. I went in there with some of my recycled bags the other day. They said, no, bring those recycled bags back. I was like, okay, I'll use your paper. I kind of like trees, but all right. Anything to get me my food, please. Get your food. I like to do a big slurp because I feel like it can be a comic routine every now and then when you hear, oh, that's gross. It's a weird slurping sound. But anything to keep the show rolling, guys, we have an excellent connection. I'm pretty excited and I don't want to jinx it. But this may be the promised land for our streaming infrastructure. What? I agree. This is amazing, dude. This stream is going well and we're simulcasting all smooth. I can't wait till we break it. Shh. Don't jinx us, Mr. Viking dude. Anyways, if you're watching the stream, I was trying to have a clean show today, but this is a clean show. This is the way it is, right? So if you're looking over on the YouTube, you can see here we are. Dun dun dun. Tappa Film Production House. Tappa Film Production House. That's right, we're sponsored by the Tappa Film Production House. We're sponsored by you, Tappa Film Majors, and the entire Tappa Ensemble. I appreciate all of you, and I hope you join us. If you find yourself bored, I'm going to try to be putting through assignments that are open to everybody. I am going to take priority of my critiques and my grading to my particular students. However, I love seeing you guys on the IG feed, and I'll be glad to critique your work when I have a spare moment. We like the encouragement of everybody producing new work, and we also like the encouragement of people producing the real distant tags, hashtags. So produce your own hashtags. The real distant vision was one that the real Kalia came up with. Big shout out to the real Kalia. Great work. We're seeing you out there. We're 8 minutes in, folks. Yo, we have I don't want to jinx it. Smooth. I'm just excited about all that. But if you're watching on the YouTube, you're just seeing a black screen, so that's not very clean, is it? So switch it up. I asked you guys, what is that bottom thing on the bottom left side of the screen? If you could tell me what that is, extra bonus points. Also, if you feel like you're running a little behind on your real distant portfolios, send me a critique. Send me a critique via email or IG or any platform, and I will count that towards any missing work. You guys have all done phenomenal. Trust me, you're not going to do terrible here. You're actually all doing like 100% work. I'm so excited. So just keep that activity going. Keep in communication. That's the key. If I see you guys liking stuff, if I see you guys like my recent thing, if I see you guys watching the live feed, I can see those things. I consider that attendance, okay? I consider that contact. And if you guys are producing the work as well, then you got that work credit. That being said, I am very easy on this stuff, so take it easy on that. I am on a 20-second delay, so I will get back to any comments that you have as quickly as I can. And I'm trying to keep the show rolling with my color, with my announcer voice. So, yeah, I used to like making voiceovers and stuff like that. So, if you're going to do a streaming type of program, don't just sit there and wait for people to talk. Have something rolling so that way when we're watching you, like looking at your ceiling and your eyeballs, that we're actually hearing something engaging. Otherwise, we're going to scroll along. I've been taking a big peek on my analytics in YouTube. It allows you to look at your viewership and your viewer retention. By the way, guys, I know we doubled it last week, but we doubled viewer retention again this week. I'm getting like, geez, I'm almost to 40% viewer retention. That means that you're watching the streams for a lot longer. Hopefully the information is getting a little bit clearer and maybe more useful. I think it has a lot to do with student work and the virtual critiques that we're doing. Yo, I saw big spikes on the real Ciliana. Like anytime I put a real Ciliana picture up there, boom, everyone was watching. Cece, you're killing it. Kalia, you're killing it. Hiron, you're killing it. Franlism, you're killing it. You said you're killing it. You guys are doing awesome, awesome work. And I could tell in the viewer retention, you guys are making this program worth it. Whoa, look at those bags under Marcoux' eyes. It must have been a long, long week. It was only 3 days. 3 days! I'm going to try to take a little bit of a 5-day break here so I can reestablish what Season 2 is going to be. Season 2 is going to be off the chain. Got a little bit of an energy today. I felt like Monday and Tuesday was a little bit too melancholy, just so I could get the stream to stay smooth. Whatever. We're working on it, folks. Oh yeah, there's a little catchphrase up in there for you. So I'm not getting anybody to say what that is. It's a super. It's a super. C-SPAN student cam winners. Raiden, the Raiden bar. You gotta love the Raiden bar. Do I have it? Yes, I do. The Raiden bar. Look at those eyes. Persistence, strength, endurance. You don't want to mess with Tappa Film. Oh, then you have this girl. The real Lenora. Rocking it. Pictured by the real mommy. Big shout out again to the real Hiron. Oh my. Whoa, bro. Whoa. Okay, so the real Hiron here, he takes an excellent step with his Real Distant collage. He brings together the Real Distant Project 1, 2, 3, brings together a Real Distant video, and he brings together that first beautiful shot. Oh no, that was the Real Distant Project 2 where he graded it with the window in the middle. So I love this cubism. I love where the lines converge from different photographs. Bro, the real Hiron is on fire! The real Hiron is on fire! I gotta say it. Yo! You're amazing, bro. I'm so encouraged by your work, and I encourage you to push forward with this. You clearly have a great eye for photography. Bro, you make me feel so good. You're making this quarantine go by so much quicker through your imagery. I just love the colorimetry. I love what's happening with the angles in the room. I love how the controller turns into a parked car. It's kind of poetic. I'm playing video games. I'm stuck in this room. I'm like on a parked car. I'm not going many places externally. Poetry. Poetry. Visual poetry, my brother. OMG. I sound like a little FB twerp saying that OMG. OMG. Ooh, yeah, whatever. Feel free to spam that like button. I love that. Anyways, that's why I like simulcasting with the IG, because I got the little bit of comments. Eventually I would love to see you guys commenting and critiquing work as we go, so that way I can interact a little bit. Albeit 20-second late. Hey, whatever's got to make this stream move as smooth as it is going right now. I'm really excited about that. So yeah, look at my composition. I've been working with it for a long time. I got my foreground element, Mr. Viking Dune. Yeah, thank you very much. And I got Mark over here. Everyone named him Mark. They told me to twist him over. I was on a chat with my my daughter's teacher, and they were like, "Oh, what's that thing in the background?" So I moved him around. I was like, "This is a centaur, half man, half horse, or half woman, half horse from Greek mythology." And I got this reel up here, and then I give myself this head space over here that's a little blank, so nothing's distracting. There's no like horns coming out of my head like Devil Marcoux, or like, I get the clock back here that never moves, so that's interesting. We're timeless, right? Again, you got my, I have a makeshift, this is where my clothes goes, and then my studio, it's a little small corner in my home here, but it works well for me. And then I brought in these foreground elements. I tried to work out this. I like having the keyboard there because it kind of creates these leading lines into the composition. And I don't try to be centered either. I don't want to be backlit because then I'd be dark. And I keep tilting my hat over so I can get more light on my face. I'm trying to work with the practical things that I have so I can show you can do it. Excuse me. Oh, that was disgusting. I know, it's too early for that. But anyways, great job, the real Hiron. I gotta move forward because I'm taking my time. Make some shadow puppets around the home. This is a really fun project if you're like looking to like find some engagement with your family or something. Put up an opaque, a white sheet or a clear piece of paper, throw a flashlight behind it and do some shadow puppets. Sometimes me and my daughters will take a flashlight and we'll just do shadow puppets on the wall. It's really engaging. My daughters are always saying, "Daddy, let's do shadow puppets." And I love doing that. It just makes my girls feel so magical, and that we can do these things with the elements of reality that we have. That's right, the colors that we can actually see. Are there more colors? I think so. We just can't probably see them. Who knows? But I encourage you always to think about that existence. I did a few texture shots the other day, so sometimes it's fun to really think about texture and play with that. Me and my daughter were doing some chalk on the sidewalk in my pavement in my parking lot, and not my parking lot. I have a little driveway, and I thought it just created these interesting shadows being cast, mixed up with the kind of graph street art of a child. I thought that was really interesting. We have a lot of actually kind of reputable street artists following us, guys. Like big time. Shout out to them. Big shout out. Shout out. Mark Echo. What? Okay. Chamuco Negro. Ooh. Collage for days, bro. It's very exciting. So this is bigger than just virtual class. This is you guys blowing up on a global stage, kind of. Bro, let's get it. Anyways, yeah, so be encouraged by that. Here's another texture shot that I really enjoyed. And shout out. Ah, why did I do that? That's not a clean show. Yo, shout out to Ayla. Shout out. Check that out on Friday, 8 o'clock. She's doing some very cool live programming, so shout out to you. I want to get into some stories. Read, guys. If you get bored, read. There's some excellent books out there. I like this one, a little backwards documentary. This is an excellent resource, guys. If you can find this, I'll probably just I don't know, Xerox it and give it to you guys. But this book teaches all, especially about media literacy, which is what this program is about. This is a grand experiment about media literacy, trying to get engagement. We'll see how it works. It's an excellent book. Shout out to documentarians out there. Tell me what this is. I've said it a bunch of times. If you could throw me in the chat, what kind of program is this? I mentioned it before. It's a bit of documentary. Tell me. We'll get back into that later. But anyways, I did want to show this little piece because this kind of has some of our wonderful creations that have been created. Yes, the real Anaeli. What a wonderful portfolio. You could see from the first steps of these first photos, taking this real attempt on shadow depth of field. I like this 1, 2, 3 process that you had going. You had the bottle, the empty cup, the cup getting filled, and then you did some wonderful things with complementary colors, the blue background and the orange flame, really complementing each other. Those are complementary colors. And taking an approach that's a little different than normal. I really appreciate you, and I really appreciate your timeliness. You get your works on deadline, perfect timing. When you work in the news, deadlines are everything. You need to get it done. Even if it's not finished, even if it's like live TV, you have to get it done. We're going to be on the air in 2 minutes. It needs to air. Otherwise, there's blank space, and our advertisers that pay us won't like that. We're going to get that backwards ripped of money eventually. We're working on it. Anyways, yeah, phenomenal work there. Oh, I love your portfolio, and seeing it in your story really makes it easy. Also, make sure to highlight that portfolio in your profile so that way you keep that portfolio. And down the line, if you want to start the real account, feel free to and join us. Or if you feel like, I'm not quite sure about this, you can always make it private too. So that way you can choose the followers that are following you. Okay, I love this piece. RGB. We are trying to break pixels nowadays. Pixels are made up of red, green, and blue. Primary colors are red, yellow, and blue. However, with video technology, red, green, and blue. There's actually one red subpixel, there's one blue subpixel, and there's 2 green subpixels, which makes it easier to pull it out. That's why we use green screens, not blue screens like Mr. Marcoux used to do in the day. The real Esdri, oh, she did some fantastic work. I think I threw some weird commercials in there, so they're getting free advertising, I guess. Oh, bye. But yeah, the real Esdri, she did some wonderful work, and you can see my review video where you get to see me reacting to this because it was quite scary. I'm just scared of Barbie dolls, period. So I had nightmares about this. I must admit, Esdri. So be careful not to I don't know, make me stutter. It is freaky. If you watch the Real Esdras teaser, it's fantastic. The Real Distant teaser. I'm still waiting on a few Real Distant teasers, but if you can't get it done, that's okay. Give me a review instead. Okay? Or if you're a little behind, just make a Real Distant vision. Make a Real Distant something else and just show it to me. I'll count it. I want to see engagement. It's not too hard. It's fun. Find something like you're just laying there. You don't want to move. Look at your sock and take a picture of it. Take a different angle. Look at the ceiling. See what it looks like. Experiment. And again, you can make that stuff private. So no big deal, right? And if you don't feel comfortable with that, just email it to me. Gmail, Google Classroom, whatever. I'm on everything. So the Real Esdras has been producing and just keeps pumping it out. I'm so proud of you. Wonderful work, Elizabeth. Moving forward. Oh, I did want to get into. Okay. Nope. Shout out the Real Garza Smash. If you can, find him on YouTube and make sure you give him a sub because he's going to be doing some big live streaming stuff too. I want to go back to the Real Jonathan. He was in here somewhere. Oh, the Real Alec. Yeah, I wanted to give some love. Shout out to the Real Caden as well. It is a clean show. I promise you. Yeah, let's get into the Real. It's right after this. Boom. If your childhood was toxic, let's talk about it. Get it out in the open. The Real Alec, producing some wonderful serene shots. This wonderful cute shot of the dog. He put a dog treat on that just to get him to look that way. Oh my gosh, you've eaten too much. That's the thing about quarantine. You're constantly going to the fridge. Ugh. This is a funny video. Check out the Real Alec. He's got some really hilarious comic routines. I think that's his mother. Oh my gosh. Watch out. And the Real Alec, that's going to be his program if that happens. But this is a wonderful stop. And check out his Real tease. It's hilarious. Really hilarious. Then he took this shot on a dog walk. I thought it was wonderful because he's capturing it in, actually, let's go back to that for a second. There was the Real Kalia shotting herself out with a selfie. But yeah, let's get back to that other shot. There we go. Yeah, so he had been walking his dog and he took this shot, and I just find it interesting because it's an overcast day. Today's a bit overcast. On an overcast day, colors just pop. They pop out to us. Actually, the white balance, if you're getting a little bit more technical, is more of like a 6500K versus typical blue sunny day is a 5600K. So the light is a little different, really making that color emphasize. So that's a wonderful thing. Plus, you have, I keep lots of ums today. You have the wetness on the asphalt that causes this reflection. If you're doing a shallow depth of field, it makes these wonderful, sparkling, fantastic brushstrokes in the air. So that could be a fantastic thing. Great job, the Real Alec. Shout out to you for going beyond. Continue to do this, even if you're doing it during vacation. I'm going to keep an eye on the IG anyways, and I'll probably be throwing boop, 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 boop your way, for sure. Loving you guys. You guys are doing fantastic work. Moving forward a little bit, let's check out. Oh, I gotta give a shout out. He tries to keep his stuff a little bit private, but I'm sharing it anyways, bro, because you're amazing, and you shouldn't. Sometimes you just gotta put your work out there and see what people think, and learn how to take criticism. So he did a wonderful Real Distant collage portfolio, and his work is fantastic. I'm not going to share the Real Distant tease, which was banging. But when you're ready, I will, because it was banging on a backwards rip today. Tip your bus drivers. Just make sure your money's clean as a whistle. All right, moving into it. I'm so psyched about this excellent connection we have today. Let's see if we can get some other stuff in here. Oh boy. Okay, story 1, story 2. Let's see if this is the story. Story GG. The Glitter Goddess. Big shout out to the Glitter Goddesses. Thank you so much for calling the Real Lenora Glitter Goddess. She loves to dance. Check out the pink moon. We had the pink full moon and some wonderful shots. I just want to showcase that. Whenever you see like phenomenon happening like this, like an eclipse or a wonderful full moon or perhaps a crescent moon, feel free to shoot it. It's a great opportunity to take something. I love the reflection right there on the ocean. And again, we have that horizon on the bottom third when we talk about rule of thirds. So it's really emphasizing the space of the atmosphere. Really wonderful work. I just wanted to share that. Anyways. Oh! welcome home. The real Leilani. So psyched that you're part of us now. And she does a real distant collage, a real distant vision, in fact, that is manual. You know, we're trying to get ourselves out of these auto functions or break the auto functions to make them do what we want them to do. You know, like when I put a white piece of paper up front, the camera's trying to compensate by making everything darker. On the other side of scope, if I put something black in front of it, it's going to make everything get brighter and maybe more grainy. So think about that when you're playing with auto functions, or try to lock in your screen for exposure. Usually you can like tap the auto function, it turns it off, and you can dial exactly what the exposure is if you want it fixed. It's very important that we break AI because it is our function, it is our form, it is our ability, it is the things that we do as freelancers manually that make us worth something. And it's those human mistakes, those imperfections that make us beautiful. Everything in a grid, boring, boring. For sure, bro. Manual, folks. Or break AI and be creative with it. A lot of my stuff, I've been just doing screenshots of screenshots, screen recordings of screen recordings, just to break the pixels and make the compression, compress the compression. So I get these really gritty pieces of like digital texture. Break AI, break it, make it your own. That's from the heart. Yo, oh my god, I'm spamming the like button. How do you like that? What do you think, Mr. Viking Dude? I think that's fantastic, although I would like some more interaction. Well, we're working on that, and we're going to make it even better. You better believe it. Alright, getting right back into it. Almost, wow, guys, we're about 30 minutes in, and we're going to try to keep this program a little bit more refined as we go along here. I did want to give a good shout out to the real Patrick. He has some phenomenal work over here. Let's see if we can get it to play. So he put together his portfolio. He's working towards his senior project, and it looks like it's going towards a gamer format, which I'm excited about because gaming is kind of revolutionizing the way we view time-based media. In fact, this, if you didn't answer me before, is a mockumentary. I'm kind of documentary, I'm kind of performing. So it's a little bit of both. But yeah, I love this sequence. I like this shot too because there's so many angles going on it. Check out the real Pat F. He's doing some phenomenal work. His work is quite refined, and as lower schoolers or high schoolers that are just pumping up to senior level, we got some exciting things coming up in Q4, Season 2. Concentrate. It's gonna be fantastic and valuable, hopefully. It will. It's gonna be valuable, trust me. You better view. Better give me some views. Sub the YouTube. Sub the YouTube, please. Helps me keep track. I like having checks and balances. And give me honest critiques. I have a thick skin, I can take it. If I have to take it personally, I will. But I'll forgive you. Excuse me. The coffee's hot today. Coffee's always cold. Today it's hot. I love it. Yeah, so I have been keeping track. Blue zones and blue crayon. How do you like that for Google Classroom? Yeah, I'm keeping track, folks. I got rundowns for days. I got rundowns for days. I make a rundown every day to try to make this thing happen for you guys. And it's going to get more refined. I find that the format is building itself. Maybe I need to start gaming with you guys. No. You'll just, like, I'll go out there. comes the real Marcoux. Done. Dead. Maybe I'll do some old school Atari gaming. That'd be hilarious. All right. Yeah, but I'm just so excited about the work that's pumping through the IG these days. Here's a little time lapse for your viewing pleasure. I like to sometimes take the camera when I'm on vacation or stuff like that and just point it towards the sky when all the girls are asleep. And I just let it take time lapses. I encourage you to play around with what does your particular tool do? Does it have a slow-mo function? If so, slow-mo needs more light than normal camera because each frame has less time to expose the light. So if you're doing slow-mo, try to add a little bit more light. That'll be helpful. In time-lapse, sometimes you have a time-lapse feature. It kind of goes around every 5-10 seconds or whatever, and I think you can change those increments, but that's useful for if you're trying to do like just stop motion, like moving like a dude in there shot by shot, or me spinning my hat brim frame by frame until it goes all the way around, right? So time lapse can be useful to do some pixelation or some animation, get my light back, or just get a time lapse, set it outside the window and let it roll for like an hour and see what happens. Take a particular shot, you come up with some pretty experimental things. Yeah, listen to Mr. Marcoux. He knows what he's talking about. We're not going to break your foot again today. Oh boy, I need a little bit less of a decline on that. We'll work on it, folks. All right, so you got that. Got to shout out the Snowman. Lenora, fantastic artist. This girl is going to blow up. I got to give a shout out to the real Kalia. You know, I did these texture pieces, and then the real Kalia comes out with this collage, this portfolio, and this is phenomenal. This includes so much beautiful texture, the grass, the wood chips, and then the texture of the stamp on top of everything. So it makes it feel like this piece is an archive. Not only is it an artwork, but it actually has been somewhere. It's been to Mexico, and it has come back. And it's like this thing you go through a shoebox and you find it. And it has that human touch. You might even be able to, like, when I see a picture like this, I almost think about, you know, what the picture feels like, what the fabric of that paper feels like. Oh, we got squealing in the background. I also like to think about, like, just like the sights and sounds, the feeling of this dog kind of pulling on the stick that you're getting. So it's got this tactile feel that grounds us in humanity, and that's our skills as filmmakers transcending, is trying to show people what it was like to be humans before we were all stuck in little pods on the moon. Ugh, sure hope they're not like training us for this. Oh boy. But wonderful work, the real Kalia. I'm really excited with your work. It is phenomenal, and I really appreciate your engagement too. Every day you're engaging. Probably going to work on this composition a little bit because I'm sliding over here. I have my mouse over here, so I'm not like clicking in your face all the time. That's one of the things I've worked on. Yeah, things like that. You know, talk about different elements and stuff like that right here. We have a little coffee cup that Juna made for me on April Fool's Day. That was really fun. But my favorite thing that she created was the cutout. Form and function, folks. Hey, the real Kalia. Hi. I'm a hot, steaming, negative cup of coffee. Shout out to you. I've been looking at your work all morning. It's fantastic. Yeah, I'm willing to take requests too. Here, I'll give you guys a couple waves. Let's see if that'll work. Wave. Hi. Yeah. Checking it out. Some more working here. You know, I could kind of share you guys. I shared it yesterday, but why not just share it again today? Because it is a finale, and I wanted it to be exciting, so I like kind of showing this work. Do some dancing. Time lapse. Todd Oldham. Sustainable fashion design. He's famous. Ooh. Shout out to the real James Reed. Best friends. Create some great beats. So yeah, you can be creating great beats out there. This was my real distant tease featuring the Viking dude. Oh, geez, bro. So this was shot by Juna. I'm trying to have Juna do all of your signs.
Wide, past the Scorpion Sea, to Turtle, Tanzania.
Kind of liked how the white balance changed. You can notice how the color shifted as Viking dude gets closer and closer into, like, he talks about, oh, I'm going across the Scorpion Sea, and then the color kind of turns blue. That's the auto white balance shifting, but it kind of seems like he's going into a cavern, so it's a kind of way of breaking the auto function to help tell the story. Encourage you guys to always do that. Yeah, just in case you guys are just tuning in, what is that thing on the bottom left? What is it? I said it before, and I'll say it again. Guys, we're about 40 minutes in. I'm just going to play some of this stuff in the background while I kind of... My nostrils kind of become like little mouths. Like Mr. Marcoux' nose is talking. Whoops. Yeah, so those are some water rhythms that I took over on the beach down south. Be careful, because I don't know if you're allowed to the beaches right now, but, you know, part of the game. Does anyone have any requests or anything? I still haven't seen, like, one person chat on the YouTube. Actually, I saw one, and I had to flag them. They were flagged right off the bat. Yep, I'm keeping an eye out. Keeping that. If you're messing with me, yo. I think I need some beats or something to put off the... This is a Season 1 finale, Episode 13. You'd think 13 was an unlucky number, but yo, I have an excellent connection. I am simulcasting. I got my first almost clean show, and I don't want to jinx it, but yo, this is working right now on 2 feeds out of my measly hardwire Cox Communication cluster cuss. That's a code switch. Yeah. Hope you guys are working on your code switches. I look forward to hearing some really creative code switches here in this game that we're playing online. Yo. Came out hard with a lot of, like, crazy energy up front. Tell me if you like the energy. I did notice on the analytics whenever I flip out, and I did those tests with my hands the other time when I was trying to tell you real information, but I was like working out my hands like this, and I actually did see a lot of viewer retention when I was like moving my hands, and when I was like rapping, and when I was like doing really off-kilter things. That seemed to provoke viewership. So I'm gonna try to keep things a little bit more visually dynamic now that I have a stream that actually functions. Definitely in season 2. Please, please, please. I need critiques. I need them. I haven't got like one. I had one person that promised me real F-roll. I'm calling you out, bro. You said you were gonna give me a critique. You didn't. Do what you say. Another piece of advice. Say you're gonna do something, do it. Even if it's late. At least you did it. Don't just like drop though. Don't just like say you're gonna do something and like forget about it. That's work on your character, folks. You gotta work on your character. And to have good character means you do what you say. That way I can count on you. I can call you up and be like, yo, I need you tomorrow for a gig. Show up. And you do. It's important. Because if you don't get a call again. Trying to innovate this art form, folks, and we're also trying to innovate the way we can do business in the freelance world because it is shifting. I myself lost about 4 weeks of work this summer. Or lost a gig like right away. And I'm looking at other gigs that are coming down that are like I'm probably gonna lose them because of this whole crisis and stuff like that, which is why I've been pushing my technical know-how to try to help others and my students innovate this so that way we can come up with new trades or new value to being a freelance videographer or editor or graphic designer. I think there's a lot of skills that people are missing out here, and you could kind of tell because you're seeing these video conferences go real south. I'm getting real sick of watching talking heads that are backlit or like the people, you're just like kind of like exhausted and stuff like that. We want to have these virtual meetups or virtual collaborations be a little bit more exciting and inspire those that are collaborating. So it's important to think about media literacy. It's important to think about the visual elements, colorimetry, complementary colors. Just as simple as like putting a bright color in your image actually provokes mental health. If I see purple, oftentimes I feel happy. If I see pink, I feel happy. Even if I see certain hues of blue, any kind of like saturation generally makes me feel happy. It's just like kind of a psychological effect. When we're filmmaking, there are all these like very subtle touches they can do that make people feel comfortable. I know my shot is what it is in the vertical cinema scope that it is, but I've really worked on trying to make it something dynamic that even if what I'm saying might be like crazy, that you have other elements that you can look around in the frame that keep your eye moving from item to item, from detail to detail, color to color, right? So that's kind of important to think about when you're doing this kind of stuff. And let me know if you're trying to do any kind of streaming stuff, because I've screwed a lot of stuff up and I've figured a lot of stuff out at the same time. So I'm pretty excited. Season 13 finale's like rock solid right now. Rock solid on the stream. 20-second delay, that's the key, I think. 20-second delay and constant bitrate. Constant bitrate, not variable bitrate. No. No B frames or anything like that. Constant bitrate. CBR. I could tell you if you're working with OBS or something like that. Some good settings that'll help you out even on a slow internet connection. Because a slow internet connection, you can even broadcast in like maybe standard definition instead of high definition, and that might help you out if you have a very low upload speed. It all depends on your upload speed, not your download speed. Okay? Oh, jeez, guys, it's been a fun show. I've had fun. I don't know about you guys, but I've had fun. Shout out to the real Sheldon Whitehouse, giving my students some props. C-SPAN student camp 2 times in a row. Champions. Shout out to the real Jovan, who was part of the team last year. Dude, you're a superhero too. What? Shout out to my seniors. Shout out to 11th grade. Shout out to 10th grade. Shout out to the real everybody. Shout out to the 9th grade minors. Continue to join us. You're not like ditched in quarter 4. You can continue to be part of us. It's not a big deal. I love it. And you guys, honestly, were pioneers in this program. So you get priority too. I'm watching. You guys are really helping out, and I really appreciate that. Not many glitches today. Got to work on adding some glitches because they're kind of fun. Well, I'm still waiting for some requests. If you guys have any requests, please let me know. What do you say, Mark? Oh, really? Ah. A little forced perspective, folks, you know, like in Lord of the Rings when they had Frodo really close to the camera speaking to a wall, and then Gandalf far off like Mark talking to another wall like they were talking to one another. That was forced perspective. They did do some computer graphics, but it was really a way to make Gandalf seem bigger than Frodo. Actually, I kind of have it reversed. Like Gandalf was close to the camera to make him seem bigger. Frodo was far off in the background to make him seem smaller. Hi, Frodo. Oh, you're a little Hobbit, cool. You know, so forced perspective can be a lot of fun. You see those pictures with like people go to France and they put their finger on top of the Eiffel Tower. I'm cool. Yeah, forced perspective. We can tweak that out to make it more artsy and innovative, right, Viking dude? Yeah, I agree. That's super cool. Yeah. So any requests? MGPKHP. I don't know who you are, but you're super cool, and I appreciate the laugh with the tears coming out your eyes. That says to me that you're laughing so hard you're crying. Yeah. Maybe people will tune in just for that laugh. I gotta give reason to people to tune in later. Because sometimes I get people on the stream, but then other times I have people like check out the videos later and they're like, I wonder what Marcoux did the other day. I wonder how bad he raps, or I wonder like how much he like broke his stream or whatever. So I'm always looking for like new things to bring forward to Backwards Colorado right here to make people watch later. Be like, oh yeah, you got to tune in at like 35 minutes in when he like, I don't know, spills coffee on himself. Segway, folks. Segway. Don't drink soda when you do these things. They give you a little like, kind of like, a little gas, or you burp and stuff like that. It makes you feel a little weird. So I've been trying to keep it down on the coffee, but I like having a coffee in here. It's kind of like a formalized daytime program thing. Guys, we're 49 minutes in. This has been a long episode. I got to work on this format so it's a little bit more concise, but I have been figuring out things that I would build into the format. Like I like my shout outs in the beginning, and I like to start bringing in the virtual crits first. Then I like a little like kind of meandering segue, whether I be singing some stupid song or like doing some kind of funky creative things. And eventually we're going to build in some more tutorials. When we start off Q4, it'll be pretty tutorial heavy to start off, so I give you guys some different tools that you can utilize. Yeah. No requests. Backwards. I like the backwards function. I like the backwards function. It's a functioning. It's a functioning. Yeah. Backwards is fun because it's like a mirror, so I know where I'm going to go. I can paint with the image with my hands. I can write some graffiti on the lens. You're under arrest. Ah! Whoa. Eyes are fun. Ow. Why'd you do that to me, Viking dude? He doesn't like close proxemics. He doesn't like to be too close to. He needs a bubble. Boink. Boink. Ooh. Boink. Yep. Respect the bubble, folks. Respect it. Requests? Guys, that's the finale. I need some requests. Just gonna sit here for another hour. Got a meeting coming up though in about 5 minutes, so gotta kind of let you go in a moment. But so far clean show. Wow, amazing. Yo, champions. Yeah, so now that I have this thing functioning, I can do a lot more creative things with the actual template of what's going on with the YouTube and make it more phenomenal. Like I can see my mouse over here. I can add like my own super. I could work on this a little bit. I can maybe get a little like top bar. Maybe I could put my own body in like a smaller cube so it has like kind of a template format, like you're looking at a video game console or something like that. That might be neat. So there's a lot of creative things now like I can do now that I got like the technical quirks worked out. First, you start off with actually getting the pipe working, get it sent and broadcast. Once that's all settled, then we can be creative. Then we could be like, oh, I could put camera 1 here, camera 2 here. It's another thing I'm thinking about is maybe if I can do some multicam stuff. But to get this camera actually to work, I had to actually suck it up and buy a little app called OBS Camera just to get this to function. Although I feel like I could have probably figured some stuff out to avoid that. Now that I've been tweaking out a lot, I hear laughter in the background. That's so much better than fighting. Love every moment of it, guys. Love every moment of your family. Give big hugs to everybody. Make sure that you get outside. Make sure that you focus on your mental health every day, not only on a mental health Monday, but, you know, really treat those around you with love and respect, and you're always going to get that back. Sometimes. Well, sometimes we get cranky, parents and stuff like that, but, you know, try to treat each other well, because we are in it for the long road for a little bit, and, but we're going to make this engaging. We're going to try to have some fun. I'd like to see some people try to call in eventually so we can do some multi-streaming stuff like I wanted to. Now that things are functioning, I think someone could try to call in, and maybe we could do a live talk back. Like if I had reality TV talking right now, I could ask them all about a C-SPAN thing. And maybe that will be valuable to people. So, yeah, I want to see how we can break this thing and have some fun in the same regard. And let me know if you're streaming anything, because I will pay attention and I will sub. And I won't judge. Unless you want me to. Oh, the real Marcoux. So funny. I'm hilarious. No. Oh, cracking up over here, folks. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Why not? Why not, right? Why not? Just gonna watch this for a little. Maybe this will be my closer, because I got about a minute left.
Is this working on a weekend? I don't think it is working, but I'm giving it a shot and we're gonna see. Giving it a shot. If we can't do this, I don't know. Let's check it out. I don't know why it's going alright. It's one of those not made for kids. It's not.
IG stream is ending in about a minute, and I'm gonna shut it down. Gonna shut it down when the IG feed is over. We're gonna go into the lightning round. You think I don't got no bars? Of course I don't. Radar? Reading? Reading bar?
3, 2, 1, and what is going on in this place? Still, it's beginning on the what to do. I'm gonna hit the button
right now.
Going live on the TV show. All of a sudden, I lost my sound. I don't know if I lost my sound.
Know where your L is, folks.
3, 2, 1.
Know where your L is.
What is going on in this place?
Lens.
Still, it's thinking
Backwards L.
I'm gonna hit the button right now. Coming live on the TV show. Go. All of a sudden, I lost my sound.
All of a sudden, I lost my sound.
I don't know if I lost my sound.
Hey! Guys, I have 30 seconds left. Do you want to join me? No, of course. Yes? Oh, I know you do. Come on, quick! 25 seconds left! We gotta end this thing! We gotta end it right!
Yo! Yo, 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 yo.